Okay, so we are live. तो we are. क्या हम लाइव हैं? Okay, हो जाना प्लीज स्टार्ट. Okay, now it started. Am I audible? Yes, I am. Let's go. So, hey guys, if you're watching for the first time, my name is Harshit and I'm a final year BTech undergrad preparing for my placements. I started this series to build consistency and discipline of solving problems and coding every single day. And today is day number 45. I started this challenge as a 45 days of code challenge, but my goal was to solve around 455 DSA problems in Striver's A to Z sheet in 45 days. But actually, I failed. Maybe matlab, I have not failed, but we are running out of time because I was also having some opportunities during the same time when I took this challenge, and I had to pause this series for some time, and I could not give equal amount of time to this series. That is why the questions could not be solved in the expected time. This is why I am expanding the series from 45 days to 100 days because I don't want to leave it as uncompleted, but I want to complete all the questions. However, if it will take us 100 days, we will solve it at 100 days. I also have my some exams. I have my opportunities in different companies. I am preparing for them as well. So that is why we are taking more time to solve these problems. And I'm completely unprepared. I'm not reading any script. I hope the screen is visible right. Yes, the correct screen is visible. And today I'm thinking that I will be revising some concepts of array and strings because uh, in Infosys I will be able to solve the easy and medium problems only, and I need to brush up those topics for that. Okay, let's see where is Striver's A to Z sheet. Out of these, we have already solved 237 problems, 100 easy, 100 medium, and 35 hard problems. And the remaining topics are really very hard and are not asked that frequently. Although we need to do this greedy algorithms. Okay, I'm skipping these three problems for now because we want to learn greedy algorithm first. And greedy algorithm is something that is being frequently asked by Infosys. Okay, so let's learn about greedy algorithms today. Step number, oops, अभी दिख रहा होगा, अभी भी नहीं. Now it should be visible. Just traverse it to that sheet. Okay, so it is step number 12, greedy algorithm, easy, medium, and hard. Medium and hard problems are 11, easy problems are 5. And I have not solved greedy algorithm problems earlier. So let's solve these easy problems today. Let's target to solve these easy problems today. It is step number 12, greedy algorithm problems. Easy. Uh-oh, ये तो सही है. We can mark it at done here itself. So let's go. ये change क्यों नहीं हुआ? I changed the subscriber only mode to everyone. Anyone can comment. Okay, now it is. Oh, we are good to go. Assign cookies problem. And before that, we will learn more about greedy algorithms, what are greedy algorithms, and how to solve such problems, and what is the use of greedy algorithms. I hope it is visible. Let me check. OBS Studio. Yes, it is visible. And kids masher. It was someone Aditya Sharma. One of my friends suggested that Aditya Sharma has explained those topics really well, which are asked in Cap, not Capgemini, but Infosys. Let's search his name. Okay, Aditya Verma for dynamic programming. क्या इन्होंने ग्रीडी एल्गोरिथम्स भी पढ़ाया है? नहीं पढ़ाया क्या? DP heap binary search stack graph matching split reusable. Hmm. Codecules assign cookies greedy algorithm plagiarized by Subarrays.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing extremely well. So the
हेलो गुड आर्मी, कैसे हैं आप सब लोग? आई होप आप सब समझ आ जाएगा। ये है मेरा मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ कॉइन्स। एक वैल्यू मुझे यहां पे दे रखी है n इक्वल टू 143। क्लियर? हाँ जी। और ये क्या दे रखी है मुझे? ये दे रखी है मुझे कॉइन्स कि एक 2000 का है, एक 500 का है, 200, 100, 50, 20, 10, 5, 2, 1। क्लियर? जो इंडिया करेंसी होती है वो वाली। क्लियर? हाँ जी। आपको 143 रुपीज को बनाना है। ये कह रहा है कि आप मिनिमम कितने कॉइन आपको लगेंगे, कितने मिनिमम कॉइन आपको लगेंगे कि आप 143 को बना पाओ। बताइए कितने मिनिमम कॉइन पे आप बना सकते हो। तो मुझे पता है कि अगर मैं यहाँ पे एक 100 का लेता हूं, हाँ जी, एक 20 का, एक 20 का, एक 2 का और एक 1 का, तो मैं 143 को इजीली बना सकता हूं। जहां पे मुझे कितने लगे, 1 2 3 4 5, 5 मिनिमम कॉइन में मेरा काम कंप्लीट हो गया। क्लियर? और भी बहुत सारे तरीके हैं किसको, इस 143 को बनाने के। कि अगर मैं 50 50 करके लूं, 50 50, 10 10 10 10 2 1, ये भी एक तरीका है 143 को बनाने का। लेकिन यहाँ पे 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 8 कॉइन लग रहे हैं। लेकिन यहाँ पे कितने लग रहे थे, 5। इसको करके देख लेते हैं, निकलता नहीं निकलता। ऐसा भी मैं बोल सकता हूँ। क्लियर? तो वो मैं कैसे सिलेक्ट, टू, ये k इक्वल टू 2 क्या है, पहले वाली निकालनी है। तो प्रॉब्लम की ओर अब हम देखते हैं अभी थर्ड प्रॉब्लम को। थर्ड प्रॉब्लम, अब हम देखते हैं अभी सेकंड प्रॉब्लम। आई दिखाएगा इसके इंडेक्स को। क्लियर? हाँ जी। चलो अब अपनी इस प्रॉब्लम को देखते हैं। मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ कॉइन्स, तो ये देख रहा है कि मेरे पास इन्फिनाइट सप्लाई है जो इंडियन करेंसी है, 1 2 5 20 50 100 200 500 2000, और एक टारगेट वैल्यू n मुझे दे रखी है। ये बता रहा है कि फाइंड द मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ कॉइन्स और नोट्स नीडेड टू मेक।
नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं आपका दोस्त संचित। स्वागत करता हूं नॉलेज गेट प्लेटफॉर्म। जो ग्रीडी की लालच बुरी वाला है, तो कैसे वो हमारे जो ग्रीडी अप्रोच है उससे डिफरेंट मिलता है, इसी तरह से इस तरह। हालांकि पॉइंट ये है कि तो जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे लिस्ट लिखी हुई है,
I think videos देखकर तो नहीं हो पाएगा. Let's make our own resource using ChatGPT. नहीं ब्रो, अभी नहीं हुए. विनय विश्वकर्मा इज आस्किंग डीएसए के सारे टॉपिक्स हो गए. ट्री ट्री ग्राफ डायनेमिक प्रोग्रामिंग, ये तीन टॉपिक्स रिमेनिंग है. और डायनेमिक greedy algorithm अभी मैं कर रहा हूँ, learning greedy algorithms. Have you completed all the DSA topics, Vinay Vishwakarma? Mr. Vinay Vishwakarma. Okay. मुझे ट्रीज भी पढ़ना बाकी है। तुमने ट्रीज पढ़ लिया क्या विनय? कितना टाइम लगा तुम्हें ट्रीज और ट्रीज कवर करने में कितना टाइम लगा? And how many problems have you solved? In which year you are? Please share about yourself. And if you want to know about me, I am Harshit. I am final year BTech undergrad, currently in my final year, preparing for my placements. अभी इन्फोसिस आने वाली है, उसका असेसमेंट है 5th ऑफ दिसंबर को, तो उसके लिए थोड़ा और प्रिपेयर करना है। एंड व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड दिस सीरीज आई वाज लाइक क्लूलेस कि कैसे प्रिपेयर करूं, क्या करूं, डीएसए कैसे होता है, लीड कोड पे प्रॉब्लम्स कैसे सॉल्व होते हैं, कुछ समझ नहीं आता था। बट व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड दिस सीरीज थोड़ा कंसिस्टेंट रहना शुरू हुआ। शुरू के 35 डेज एकदम कंसिस्टेंट रहा, सिर्फ एक दिन का ब्रेक था। आफ्टर दैट थोड़े से अप्स एंड डाउन्स आए बिकॉज ऑफ सम अपॉर्चुनिटीज। आई वाज अपेयरिंग इन कैपजेमिनाई एंड दिवाली एंड सम डिफरेंट कंपनीज, जिनकी वजह से मुझे थोड़ा ब्रेक लेना पड़ा सीरीज के अंदर। बट नाउ आई एम बैक इन बिजनेस। Uncomfortability generated text file, क्या प्रॉम्प्ट था यार? Is the screen visible? Yes. Now we will paste this prompt in our Copilot and it will generate a decent text file containing some good references for learning greedy algorithm. It is Day number 45, and topic is greedy algorithm. Inside that we will create greedy algorithm state. This time we will use Gemini 3 Pro. Now let's wait for its response. And till then, if you guys are watching, okay, wait a minute. क्या मेरी आवाज आ रही थी तुम लोगों को? It should not be the case. Okay, so we have prepared a file which contains a guide for us to learn greedy algorithms. I think it could be better अगर हम इसको करते स्लॉट्स ऑन से। क्या देखे क्या? फर्स्ट लेट मी चेक कि मेरी आवाज़ तो नहीं आ रही थी. Okay, fine. Live stream is not easy. Okay, let's read this first and then we will compare if we should use some better AI. What is greedy algorithm? A greedy algorithm is a problem-solving approach that makes the decision that looks best at the moment without worrying about the future consequences. It builds a solution piece by piece, always choosing the next piece that offers the most immediate benefit. Okay, the concept of locally optimal choice. Imagine you are hiking up a mountain and want to reach the highest peak. A greedy approach would be from where I am standing, which step takes me higher, and taking that step immediately. You don't look at the whole map, you just look at your immediate options and pick the best one. ये तो मैं हमेशा से करता आया हूँ. Goal hope you works. Okay, hope that by constantly making the best local move, locally optimal, you end up with the best overall outcome. Okay, greedy algorithms work when a problem has a special structure where local optimally leads to global optimality. Okay, works for finding the shortest path in a weighted graph. Okay, compressing data or finding minimum spanning tree. Fails for finding the longest path in a graph. Okay, core principles of greedy algorithm. To know if a greedy approach will work, look for these two properties. To change something for that. Visibility unlisted, unlisted, and this one also unlisted. Now we are good to go. No negative impressions. Let's get back. Greedy choice property, you can make locally optimal choice at every step, and this choice will lead blah 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 blah. Minimum number of coins given a value v and an infinite supply of coins of specific denomination. Find the minimum number of coins needed to make the change. This greedy approach only works for canonical coin system like US or Indian currency. It fails for arbitrary system, example coins like 134. To make 6 intuition, to minimize the count, we use the largest denomination possible first. While greedy, taking the largest coin reduces the remaining amount the fastest. Okay, for each coin in coins, while value greater than equals to coin, value is equals to value minus coin. Fractional Like you have a knapsack with capacity weight. There are items with weight and value. You can break items, take fractions, maximize total value. Intuition, you want the most bag for your buck, and item with high value but huge weight. Weight is worse than a light item with moderate value. Always pick the item with the highest value to weight ratio. Not bad. We will try to solve these problems mm, locally on our VS Code. Okay, this is the better one. Part 1, foundational concept. What is greedy algorithm? Is a problem solving strategy that makes the locally optimal choice at each step with the hope that these local decisions will lead to a globally optimal solution. Core idea: at every decision point, choose what seems best right now without reconsidering previous choices or worrying about future consequences. The cashier problem. Imagine your cashier giving changes of 63 using the fewest coins possible. You have 50, 20, 10, 5, 1 bills. Greedy approach: pick the largest bill you can use repeatedly. 50 remaining 30, then 10, then 1 and 1 and 1. Total 5 bills. This is optimal. Real world analogy: the mountain climbing problem that we have seen recently. And when does best now leads to best overall? Okay. The concept of locally optimal choice, the best choice among your immediate options, and globally optimal choice is the best choice considering the entire problem. This is the better response, like how it should be. Hmm. So counter example, you have given coins 1, 3, 4. You need to make 6 cents. Greedy, pick 4 largest, then 1, then 1, 3 coins. Optimal, pick 3, then 3, and it will be 2 coins. Okay. Greedy failed. Okay. Key properties of greedy algorithm. For a greedy approach to guarantee an optimal solution, the problem must have property 1, greedy choice property. A globally optimal solution can be arrived at by making locally optimal choices. Once you make a choice, you never need to reconsider it. Okay. It works only at few. cases. Okay, it is a competitor of dynamic programming. An optimal solution to the problem contain optimal solution to its sub problem. Shortest path from A to C via B. If the shortest path A to C goes through B, then A to B must also be the shortest path to B. Okay, greedy versus dynamic. Uh, Aspect decision making. Greedy is best now, and dynamic is best among all sub problems. And brute force, try every possibility. Okay, memory, big of 1 for greedy, O of n or n square for TP, and brute force, it varies. Speed, O of n for greedy algorithm, n square or n cube for dynamic programming, and exponential for brute force. Reconsider choices, never, yes, via memoization. Okay, dynamic programming is nothing but recursion with memoization. Okay, and in brute force, we do backtracking. Okay, correctness only for specific problems, always finds optimal, but that means greedy algorithm is useless. We need to learn dynamic programming. Activity selection, 0 1 knapsack, and queens. Okay, eating the biggest cookie on the plate immediately, calculating which combination of cookies gives max chocolate chip. Brute force, testing every possible cookie combination to find the best. Minimum spanning tree, shortest path, Huffman coding, activity selection, interval scheduling. DD fails for 0 1 knapsack, cannot break items. Longest path in a graph, coin change with arbitrary denomination. Many optimization problem requiring exhaustive research. How to know if greedy will work? Check if the problem is greedy choice property. Check if it has optimal substructure. Try to find a counter example, small test case where greedy fails. Use proof technique, exchange argument. Part 2, core theory and concept. How to identify if a problem is suitable for greedy. Can I make a choice right now that I will never regret? If yes, it's a strong greedy candidate. Does picking the best option now leave the remaining problem in the same form? Meeting leaves you with more meetings to schedule same problem, smaller size. Second point समझ नहीं आया. Can I sort the input to make the best choice? Obvious. Is there a simple rule I can follow at each step? Always picks the smallest, always pick the earliest, etc. If you answered yes to most of these, try greedy first. And the exchange argument, proving greedy correctness, is the most common way to prove a greedy algorithm works. Assume there exists an optimal solution 0 that is different from your greedy solution O and G. Show that you can exchange one element in O with corresponding greedy choice from G. Prove that this exchange does not make the solution worse. Repeat until O becomes identical to G. Conclusion, G is just as good as O, so G is the optimal. Okay, just to prove your solution correct. Simple example, activity selection, pick the activity that finishes earlier. Suppose optimal solution 0 picks activity A first, but greedy picks activity A which finishes earlier. Okay, A1, A2. I think we will learn more by solving problems only. इसको बंद करते हैं. Problems. Traveling salesman problem. Greedy algorithm. Are class of algorithms that make locally optimal choices at each step with the hope of finding a global optimal solution. At every step of the algorithm, we make a choice that looks the best at the moment to make the choice. Okay. General structure, easy problems, characteristics. This is the starting point from where you begin making choices. Evaluate all possible choices you can make from the current state. Consider all the options available at that specific moment. Choose the option that seems best at the moment, regardless of future consequences. This is the greedy part. You take the best option available now. Okay. Let's say you have set of coins value 1 to 5 and 10, and you need to give minimum number of coins to someone. Change 439. Largest coin value that is less than or equal to the amount to be changed in this case. Okay, okay. We are getting we are getting closer. General structure, algorithm solves problem by making the best choice at each step. हर article में same ही बात तो है. Choice property, optimal substructure. This property states that choosing the best possible option at each step will lead to the best overall solution. Smaller parts, if so, the solving these parts helps us solve the main problem. It probably would be solved using 3D approach. Will choosing the best option at each step lead to the best? Difference between greedy and dynamic works when the problem has keep choice property and optimal substructure. Dynamic also works when a problem has optimal substructure, but it also requires overlapping subproblems. Okay, dynamic programming is used when we have overlapping subproblems. Some common ways to solve greedy problems. Job sequence. In order to maximize profit, we prioritize job with higher profits. So we sort them in descending order based on profit for each job. We try to schedule it as late as possible within its deadline to leave earlier slots open for the job closure. Fractional knapsack. Let's try solving it ourselves. ये DSA में पढ़ा और सॉल्व तो किया था but I forgot. Java 21, given two arrays, value and weight representing the values and weights of items, and an integer capacity representing the maximum weight a knapsack can hold. Value and weight representing the values and weight of items. And अच्छा ठीक है, weight is something that we have to carry, value is something that we want. Okay, representing the maximum weight that a knapsack can hold. Determine the maximum total value that can be achieved by putting items in the knapsack. Return the maximum value as a double rounded to 6 decimal places. Okay. How can we do that? Hmm. We have two arrays. Mm, We have two arrays, value and weight, representing the values and weight of items, and an integer capacity representing the maximum weight an knapsack can hold, determining the maximum total value that can be achieved by putting items in the knapsack. So you are allowed to break items into fractions if necessary. Return the maximum value as a double rounded to 6 decimal places. So let's say this is the sample text case. So what we have three items in our three items and a bag of capacity 50. So let's say this is the knapsack or a bag. Okay, इसकी कैपेसिटी है मैक्सिमम कैपेसिटी है 50. That is the weight it can hold. Suppose 50 kg. Okay, and we have three items. जिनकी weight और value अलग अलग है. Okay, so let's say these are the three items. And the weight. First का क्या है? 60 is the value and 10 is its weight. Highest value कितनी है? 120 with weight equals to 30. And in the second one it is 120. So what we used to do, we used to find the ratio, right? Ratio between the value and weight. Its ratio is 40. Its ratio is 50. And its ratio is 60. And the maximum capacity is 50. So first we will insert this 60 with 10 weight. After that we will insert this 100 with 20 weight, and the remaining will be inserted after that. So how will it be done? 30 and the remaining 20. 20 into 40, that will be 80. 80 will be inserted the remaining part, so it will become 240 in total. So how to rewrite that algorithm? How do we sort the items in the order, decreasing order of their value by weight value? We have the value, we have the weight, we need to find the maximum capacity, and that too with 6 decimal places. Okay, n is the number of items. 4 into I is equals to 0. I less than m, I plus plus. क्या रिटर्न करना है डबल? How do we store the weight by value by weight ratio of each item? This is the approach, but how do I implement it? I am able to find the ratio for each value, but give me a sec. Double ratio is equal to number of man and we are adding into it for I double ratio is equals to value of I divided by weight of I. Okay, and we will store it directly. The ratio of I is equals to value of I divided by weight of I. After that, arrays dot sort ratio first tuple of needed. Arrays dot sort का टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी हो जाएगा and log n and n is for loop. Third would have- We need to subtract the weight from the capacity also. We have items value, items weight, and capacity. दिमाग चल क्यों नहीं रहा? Fractional knapsack में calculate the ratio for all the items. Sort items by ratio in descending order. Start with the item with the highest ratio. Hello, Agent Nylon. How are you? What are you saying? भाई आपको क्या क्या skills build करनी है या कर रहा हूँ या मेरे पास skills हैं? क्या पूछ रहे हो तुम? You mean के what do you mean? कि कितने skills हैं मेरे पास या फिर कितने skills मुझे build करना है? अगर if you are asking कि कितने skills build करना है तो that is infinite. And if you are asking कि कितने skills मुझे आते हैं तो very few. Coding, typing, DSS, build कर चुके हैं skills. So डेवलपमेंट में वेरी बेसिक फ्रंट एंड एंड बैक एंड का बेसिक यूजिंग मनस्टैक कोई छोटे छोटे प्रोजेक्ट्स बना लेता हूँ मैं बट बस दीज आर द टू स्किल्स आई नो डीएसए एंड डेवलपमेंट उतना स्ट्रांग नहीं है तो आई एम जस्ट वर्किंग ऑन माय फर्स्ट स्किल दैट इज डीएसए okay we will calculate the weight value weight ratio for each item I can store the ratios with the value in a hash map and then sort it. सॉल्यूशन नहीं देखना है create a helper class to hold the value of weight, value, and the ratio. ठीक है. So if we have a static class item and it has a int value, int weight, double ratio, and a constructor item which takes value and weight and creates an item object with value is equals to value and weight is equals to weight and ratio is equals to value upon weight. God. A community server and here we call everyone to join a live stream right now. Sign off. So Dhwaj is online. Okay, let's get back to the problem. We can create a class item and Now we will create an object for items. So item array of items is equals to new item of length n. So it will store the objects. Okay. And for each object and I is equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus items at I is equals to new item with value at I and width of I. Now we have items as objects and we have their ratio. Now we need to sort the items in decreasing order of their ratio. So how do we do that? Arrays dot sort items A comma B double dot compare A dot ratio comma B dot ratio comma A dot ratio. In this way we will to sort the item and then we will create a variable total value is equals to 0.0. And then for each item in items, if capacity is equals to 0, we will break the loop. If item dot weight is less than equals to capacity total value, plus equals to item dot value capacity minus equals to item dot weight. So what we are doing, if the weight of item is less than the remaining capacity, we will add it to the total value and we will decrease the capacity. Else we will divide the item into fractions. So how do we do that? Double fraction is equals to double capacity divided by item dot weight. Okay, and we will add it to the total value. Total value plus equals to item dot value star fraction, and capacity will become 0 and the loop will end here. When capacity will become 0. Okay, and we will return the total value. And we need to return the total value in with 6 decimal places. Okay, how to round it off to 6 decimal? Total value is equals to math dot round total value dot 1 is 6 divided by 1 is 6 and return total value. This way it should work. Gonna run. वैल्यू को भी कैपिटल में होगा. Is it okay now? Number 54. Okay, it worked. Let us submit it. and it is working. So the main thing to learn is sorting objects. Okay, and government values to remember. Drivers, it is a cheat in the greedy algorithm problem. Assign cookies. Let's do this. Fractional knapsack is done. Okay, it was not there on lead code. We done it on GFG. Assume you are an awesome parent and want to give your children some cookies, but you should give each child at most one cookie. Each child I has a greed factor gi, which is the minimum size of a cookie that the child will be content with, and each cookie j has a size sj. If sj is greater than gi, we can assign the cookie j to the child I. The child I will be content. Your goal is to maximize the number of content children and output the maximum number. Assume you are an awesome parent and want to give your child some cookies, but you should give each child at most one cookie. Each child I has greed factor gi. So there we have two arrays. That is crazy. Atharv Agre. How do you do that, bro? You were solving the problems for the first time. Do you want me to check out your profile? Let's do that on lead code. You are not even in college. That is surprising. Then how you did it? This is crazy, bro. And how you did it? You started on 21st July and you're doing great. 125 days. Jay, drop year में हो. Why you took a drop, bro? Why you took a drop? And I would only suggest you to not to take college. Instead, directly get placed somewhere. You will only waste 4 years of your life. if you already if you are already able to solve these questions. Minimum number of flips to reverse binary string. You have solved dynamic programming questions also. Where are you from, Athav? It is very shameful for me to not to see this, that a guy who is not even in college, you just bypassed it. How? You're from Raipur. Very well done, Athav. Even if you have used some tricks or took help from AI, but it is still very ambitious for of you to at least solve the problem. Let me give you a cheat sheet. Yes, bro. Zero track sheet. Just zero track. Where, what are you saying? Okay, this is, yes, I have. Link is in the description. But you can share the link in the comment section also, right? What type of cheat sheet you're talking about? Zero track. Oh, okay. So you started solving rating wise. Where did you heard about it, bro? Defending an IP address. Squares of a sorted array. Type of triangle. Concatenation of array. And how you solve these problems? You solved till page 50 and now you solve randomly. We define the running sum of array. Squares of a sorted array. Okay, I got it how you solve these problems. How you found these problems to solve. Maximum product of two elements in an array. I have solved this problem earlier, maybe on GFG. Given the array of integer norms, but still you have solved. Okay, you have solved 587 easy problems and only 9 hard. That is still good. Thank you so much for sharing about that website. I will try to solve those problems if I get time to. I know, but I want to learn the data structures which are asked in interviews, right? I could solve easy problems in one topic. I am in college, I am in final year preparing for placements, and I have learned half of the data structures. Like the difficult data structures are remaining, like the trees, graph, and dynamic programming. And I started solving problems just recently, 2 months. It's been 2 months only since I started solving these problems. I've solved 50 easy, 78 medium, and 10 hard problems. Why is it not getting updated? That green forest? क्योंकि है ही नहीं. Oh, that's great. I'm trying to learn DSA first, rather solving problems randomly. Like I could solve more problems on array, string, and easy concepts, but questions are mostly asked from difficult topics like trees, graph, and dynamic programming. I was following this sheet from Striver. It has 455 problems, and I am targeting to solve all these problems. Don't do that, bro. Solve array and string, then move to DSA. Yes, bro, I've solved problems, but not on lead code, but maybe on GFG and my IDE. I have solved most of the problems of this sheet on my IDE only. So that is why the count seems very less on lead code profile. It's fine. Let's get back to the problem that we were solving. That is great. Congratulations, Athar, if you have solved all the problems. Because most of the service-based companies ask these concepts only. You will easily be able to solve the remaining concepts also in your first year itself, and you can crack some crazy good companies also. Why I'm just using this word also again and again. Greedy algorithm to find the minimum number of coins and laminate change valid parenthesis checker. How it went. Okay, thank you. Why don't you subscribe my YouTube channel rather than following me on Instagram? I don't use Instagram that much. And you can also join the Discord server. There you can interact me, talk to me, text me anytime, and update me if you get a job in Google or Microsoft this year or maybe next year. All the best for your future. Let's solve this easy problem that you don't use Discord. It's completely fine. Yes, you have 5 years, but in 5 years, the dynamics will change drastically. And if you can get a job right now, that would be better for you instead of wasting your 4 years. Whichever institute you get, even if you get into an IIT, NIT, still you will be working for getting a job, maybe. Or maybe your plan changes. It's up to you. And why would you take a drop, bro? How much marks did you score in your first attempt? Or did you give the first attempt or not in JE? I am from Allen City, Bhopal. नाम तो सुन लिया होगा. सिर्फ मैथ्स आती है. इट इज़ कम्प्लीटली फाइन, मुझे भी मैथ्स आती थी. बट वाई यू टुक अ ड्रॉप? ये ड्रॉप लेने की एडवाइस किसने दी? यूट्यूब चैनल्स से? You were born at Guna. That is still far from my home, but it is in MP actually. Let's say if G is equals to null, or S is equals to null, that means empty, we will return 0. And we have grid factor in GI. Mm, Maybe he might have graduated, not passed out. In which year he is, if you can confirm. Okay, let's sort arrays dot sort G. Now the grid factor is sorted in ascending order. And arrays dot sort S, it will sort the sizes of cookie. Hey Nikesh Kumar Shah, I don't know Yogesh Sharma. And then each child I has a grid factor Gi, which is the minimum size of a cookie that the child will be content with, and each cookie J has a size J. We can assign the cookie J to the child I, and the I will be content. If Sj is greater than Gi, we can assign the cookie J to the child J, and the child I will be content. Okay, so I and J are the grid factor of the child. S and J are the number of cookie. And hey Nikesh Kumar Shah, how are you? Seriously, nahi diya contest. I should start giving contest now. So let's say int I is equals to 0, that is the index for child. Int j is equals to 0, that will be index for cookie. And int content is equals to 0, that is the variable which will store if the current child is content with the cookie or not. Okay, bye bye, Atharv. All the best for your future. Okay. Size of the cookie is greater than the greed, then the child is content. So while I I is less than g dot length, Nikesh Kumar Shah is saying, yeah, I'm fine. Where are you from, buddy? And in which year you are? J less than s dot length. And if s of I is greater than g of j, then we will increase content by 1, I by 1, j by 1. Else, we will just. You're from Bhopal, that is great. And are you in college or school? J plus plus. That will work. And we will return content. Let's run it. Puts S of J and G of I. Why we are getting wrong also? Greater than equals to. You are in college in which year, bro? Nikesh Kumar Shah. Are you also in final year? And from which college you are? In Bhopal. It's 34%. It's not the best solution for this. It was easy. Assign cookies and greedy algorithm to find minimum number of coins. Laminate change. Let's solve this problem. It was embarrassing for me. You're in TIT college? या बहुत कुछ सुनने को मिला TIT कॉलेज के बारे में that they are charging extra fees and fine hidden charges for training and placement department. Is that true? Open करना. Add a laminated stand. Each laminate costs $5. Customers are standing in a queue to buy from you and order one at a time in the order specified by bills. Each customer will only buy one laminate and pay with either a $5, $10, $20 bill. You must provide the correct change to each customer so that the net transaction is that the customer pays $5. Given an integer array bills, where bills I is the bill the ith customer pays, return true if you can provide every customer with the correct change or false otherwise. Some changing? What do you mean? Some people are changing college. We have a laminate stand and each laminate costs $5. Customers standing in a queue to buy from you and order one at a time in the order specified by bills. Each customer will only buy one laminate and pay with either $5, $10, $20 bill. You must provide the correct change to each customer so that the net transaction is that the customer pays $5. Okay, note you do not have any change in hand first. Give an integer array bills. Given an integer array bills, where is the bill the ith customer pays? Okay, first customer pay 5, second pay 5, third pay 5. Then the fourth pay 10, so we will return 5 and okay. So I think I can solve it easily. Let's say, mm, let's create two variables int y2. Okay, rules change हो गए हैं. You can write in Hindi as well, buddy. We need to return true or false if we are able to provide every customer with the correct change. What we can do, let's say we will create two variables int 5 is equals to 0 and int 10 is equals to 0, and then we will run a for loop for int bill in bills if bill is equals to 5, we will update 5. Okay, else if bill is equals to 10, What does it mean? अगर पहला ही bill 10 आया and we do not have 5, so we will check if 5 is equals to 0, then we will simply return false. That means we cannot provide the change to every customer. Otherwise, we will reduce the count of 5 and increase the count of 10. 10 रुपए बढ़ जाएंगे, 5 रुपए घट जाएंगे. As if bill is equals to 20, then we will check if we have 10 plus 5 or 5 plus 5 plus 5. So if 10 is greater than 0 and 5 is also greater than 0, then only we will decrease 10 and 5. Else, if 5 is greater than equals to 3, then we will decrease 5 by 3, and else we will return false. If all the conditions are met, we will return true. Let's run it. Greedy algorithm is nothing new. It is something that I have been doing already. We are not getting good reach today. Laminate change problem, valid parenthesis. Given a string S containing only 3 types of character, return true if S is valid. Given a string S containing only 3 types of character, open bracket, close bracket, and asterisk. Return true if S is valid. The following rules define a valid string. Any left parenthesis must have a corresponding right parenthesis. Any right parenthesis must have a corresponding left parenthesis. Left parenthesis must go before the corresponding right parenthesis. Could be treated as a single right parenthesis or a single left parenthesis or empty string. So इसका भी एक पेयर होना चाहिए, right? Asterisk का, या फिर asterisk can be treated as a, अच्छा, it can be treated as anything, not anything, but as a right or left parenthesis. either empty string. Okay. So how can we solve it? We will use a for loop iterating over each character of the string, and then we will compare. If the current character is open bracket, we will increase the count of open bracket. ब्रो मैं पढ़ा नहीं रहा हूँ, मैं खुद सॉल्व कर रहा हूँ क्वेश्चंस। आई एम नॉट अ टीचर। और हाँ, मैं कोशिश करता हूँ डेली लाइव स्ट्रीम करने की। जब भी मैं खुद कोडिंग कर रहा हूँ तो मैं उसे लाइव स्ट्रीम करके रिकॉर्ड कर सकूँ। दैट इज़ व्हाट आई डू। और मैं कभी भी किसी भी कंपनी के टेस्ट या फिर इंटरव्यू में अपियर होता हूँ तो आई डू शेयर माई एक्सपीरियंस। आई नीड टू चेंज समथिंग। Why a stream is not getting as good response as it used to get? We can create two variables and will increase the value. यस ब्रो, मैं कॉलेज में हूँ, फाइनल ईयर में हूँ, फोर्थ ईयर। LNCT भोपाल से हूँ। प्लेसमेंट्स की तैयारी कर रहा हूँ। मेरे एग्ज़ाम है 2 दिन बाद, 25 नवंबर से। Let's say we have low variable is equals to 0 and high variable equals to 0. And for each character C in s.to character array, if C is equals to open bracket, we will increase the count of low and high. Which should be as if आप यहाँ पर कहाँ रहते हैं? मैं घर पर रहता हूँ, मेरा घर रायसेन में है। Am I revealing so much? नाम तो सुना ही होगा रायसेन। We are assuming if we encounter asterisks, if C is equals to asterisk, it can be both, मतलब any of the two, either the opening bracket or the closing bracket. So if we assume asterisk is equals to open bracket, we will decrease the count of low and increase the count of high. I know what you mean, बट मैं भोपाल में नहीं रहता हूँ, मैं रायसेन में रहता हूँ जो भोपाल के पास है। If high is less than 0, that means too many closing parentheses. So we will return false, and if low is less than 0, we will update low with 0 and return low equals to 0. Let's run it. It will get back. Oh, it worked. We need to submit it. It worked. It is 10:45. आज के लिए इतना काफ़ी है. We will solve the medium and hard problems tomorrow. No, we will continue this series after my exams, and from tomorrow we will start preparing for Infosys. So we will revise these problems. Read algorithm is also included. It is fine. Hey Nikesh Kumar, are you still there in the chat? I will end the stream in a few minutes. You need to solve 100 hard problems. Introduction to DP, dynamic programming. Good night, Nikesh Kumar, bro. By the way, what is your branch and specialization in your college? Memorization and tabulation, time complexity, space complexity, space optimization. Memorization known as top-down dynamic programming. Usually the problem is solved in the direction of the main problem to the base case. Tabulation known as the bottom-up DP. Usually the problem is solved in direction of solving the base case to the main problem. This base case down does not always mean smaller input. It depends upon the implementation of the algorithm. And is based on a O-based index. Okay, you are an IT branch. It's good. As every number is equal to the sum of the previous two terms, the recurrence relation can be written as this. The basic pseudocode for the problem will be given as this. If we draw the recursive tree for 5, it will be like this. If there are two recursive calls inside a function, the program will run at the first call, finish its execution, and then run the second call. Due to this reason, each and every call in the recursive tree will be executed. This gives the recursive code its exponential time complexity. Yes, we can improve this using memorization steps to memorize. Create a DP of n plus 1 size array initialized to -1. Whenever we want to find the answer of a particular value, say n, we first check whether the answer is already calculated using the DP array. Is not equals to if yes, simply return the value from the DP array. If not, then we are finding the answer for the given value for the first time. We will use the recursive relation as usual, but before returning from the function, we will set dpn to the solution we get. Okay. So it is simply if n is less than equal. Okay. Simple recursion है ये. Only thing is we will check and update dp. Function will call itself return dp of n is equals to f of n minus 1 comma dp plus f of n minus 2 comma dp. Okay, we will solve these problems tomorrow. Or can we wait for people? Okay, buddies, whoever is watching, thank you so much for joining. Tata, bye bye, good night, and see you tomorrow.